I want it to be known right here, right now, that I've had a really weird week. Like, an extremely odd, kind of peculiar week. So, just quickly, before we properly get started on today's episode, just do my intro. Hi, what is K-pop podcast? My name is Sophie. Thank you for listening. Always it's good to know that people are actually listening to my weird rambles. Even if you do only stay for a couple of minutes, I do understand you have so much better things to do with your life instead of listening to me anymore. So yeah. So what are we going to be talking about today? We are talking about ATEEZ's debut album All 20, I do believe it's called, Treasure EP1 All 20. And so we're going to be talking about intro, Pirate King, Treasure, Twilight, Stay, My Way, and then doing a general. Well, should I just reveal my general ranking now and then we can go into. Yeah, I should probably do that now. So at number 6, we have the intro, just because of the. None of that spooky stuff, thank you. Sorry, my light just made a really spooky noise. First, we have the intro song, which is pretty basic, you know. It has a lot of spoken word in it, and it's mainly from Hongjun, and I just didn't really like it. I guess we're doing a review as well. It's all a bit chaotic today, so that's why it is at number 6. I also put that it had a Pirates of the Caribbean vibe to it, and, you know, I wasn't too much of a fan of that. Obviously, their whole concept is the fact that they're pirates, but it's when you delve straight into the Pirates of the Caribbean thing, I'm like not too big of a fan of that. But, you know, it doesn't persist for too long. It gets better, it matures, it develops, you know. And at number 5, we have Pirate King. I actually wrote Growl at the start, which I found out through an interview that it might potentially have been Eden, which is one of their producers who did the Growl at the start. Or it could have been like Yunho or Mingi. You know, I get the doughty pants on whenever I'm like revealing something that I've learned. I'm like, am I sure that this piece of information is correct? Because I don't want to spread misinformation. But I'm pretty sure it was, they said it was Eden who did it at the start. And the pipes, those damn pipes, I don't like pipes. I hate pipe music. I don't know why. Well, I have a good reason. I have a good reason why not to like pipes. This song and Sticker by NCT 127. I don't like pipage. That sounds really weird. Pipes in general, like water pipes. Well, water pipes on the side of people's houses scare me. I don't like it. I don't know why, but like seeing pipes around just like really weirds me out. Maybe it's because of the fact that in my grandparents' house there was just like pipes. Like they have a really old house, and so just seeing the exposed pipes. I keep on saying pipes. Pipes don't feel like a real word anymore. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Mingi's rap in the song is good, but he doesn't do a fix on, which I was sad about. I was excited to see the start of Fix On, but you know, you got to start somewhere, and it does come on later, thankfully. Jungkook doesn't seem to sing as much, but I think maybe I just didn't notice, or I just was kind of ignoring it. And the song generally just does sound better when it's being performed, because I was listening to it on Spotify. So it does just generally sound better when, you know, they're performing the song as opposed to in the studio. And it does actually reference a future song, Turbulence. Don't know whether or not that was intentional, but it was there. So we're gonna have to scroll down. So we have Stay next at number 4. It's very much of the time, and that's kind of a weird thing to try and explain. So in music in general, there are like quintessential sounds that kind of happen a lot when it is that time of, when it's just generally of that time. Like, for example, you can tell that the Spice Girls, they were around in the 2000s due to their sonics. You can tell One Direction were very much in style in like the early to mid 20s. You can tell that ATEEZ, at least this album, this song, was made in like 2017, 2018. You know, not so much 2019, things started to shift, but like very much in that realm. again, fine. Completely, it's a non-issue. Very much all of these like opinions are just non-issues. They're just things that I felt in the moment. So I wrote them down. And it very much reminded me of the Chainsmokers. Specifically, this one damn song that I can't remember the blooming name of, but it was one of the really famous songs from around about that time as well. But it did very much remind me of them people. This is a controversial opinion, but for like a lot of fans will be like, "What? How dare you insult this one member's voice?" But I'm gonna do it. I don't like Jongho's voice, okay? I find it to be extremely screechy at points, like as though he's trying so hard to reach the notes that he's almost about to poop himself. Like, I'm sorry, but he does just give me that vibe. And obviously it is enough for me to kind of think to myself like, oh, are people going to say like, oh, why don't you just not listen to the music? But I'm like, I'm not saying it as like I can't listen to the music because of this. I'm just saying it as I don't really like his voice, but it isn't going to stop me from listening. I just carry on. I just don't think about it. It's very much a case of like, you can ignore it, but it is a thing that I'm perturbed by and I don't like. But it's like, well, whatever. The issue is just there, but it's whatever. It's a part of ATEEZ. Yeah, unfortunately, I just don't like his voice. His voice is actually okay in his solo song. I don't know, but I don't know why, just sometimes it gets me that I'm like, wow, yeah, that is a tone that he used. So yeah, no, he's good at complementing the vocals of a lot of the members. It's just sometimes when he's by himself, I'm like, Jungho, calm down, please. And the next note I have is, yes, I've got a line. It's a funny joke between the fans that like I will admit I partake in it myself sometimes. That your song doesn't have many lines, and I don't know if it's like true or not. But apparently, your song actually said to Hongjun and Eden and Mingi and all the people who like produce the songs of the group that he doesn't want to get as many lines. But I don't know if it's exactly true or not. It could just be that like obviously they wanted to rely on someone that could bring in the hits, so then they had the members that were a bit more vocally strong to do a lot of the lines towards the start, like at the start, and then kind of even it out more as the career went on. I don't know, if Yusung didn't actually say that, then fair enough, and I'm pleased though that he's getting the lines that, Antony very much wanted. We got a fix on this song, which I am very pleased about. I don't know why, but I just appreciate the fix-ons. It's a very oddly specific thing that I love. And the last last part of the opinion I have is I think that it's Sang singing the good bit, which I'm like, which bit's the good bit, Sophie? You didn't clarify, which is fair enough because I have the memory of a goldfish half the time. It's actually so bad, it's hilarious. So in my top three, da da da, My Way. That wasn't dramatic at all. So it's it's always the damn B-sides that I like the most, which is actually hilarious because when music is produced, typically the title track is like meant to draw in the listener to make them want to listen to the B-sides. That's how music works. For example, how I got into ATEEZ was through their song Wonderland, and it was about a year or so after it was released, and I was listening to it and I said to myself, if this group's songs are like this, I'm gonna like them. And they're not exactly like Wonderland because obviously, like, no song is going to be an exact common copy of each other. But I actually do like a lot of this music that isn't like Wonderland. Obviously, you are going to hear about it when when it comes to those albums. But like, I love Wave, specifically the Hakuna Matata line that Minky does. I fucking love it. It's a lot of people's least favourite title track from them, but for me, I just love it because it reminds me so much of like summer and like watching films with my family. Like at 7 o'clock in the evening when we're all really hot and bothered, but we just want to spend time with each other. It reminds me of those times, and like Wave and like Alcohol Free by Twice, The View by Stray Kids, and like strangely enough Unforgiven by the Seraphim. They're just like songs that I could like vibe with during the summertime, and I would definitely love it if they did more songs like that. I was like, where am I going with this? When are we gonna swing it back to My Way? So apparently there's like school children at the start of My Way. I'm like, what? We're gonna have to search this. I have to quickly do that a minute. You would think to yourself, like, oh, wouldn't you do this review as soon as you've finished listening to the songs? I'm like, yeah, most people would do, but I did try and do that, and my dad came in literally partway through me recording, so I had to pause, just listen to it a little bit. Right, yeah, it's that one. I remember now. So it does very much remind me of I wrote it. It reminds me of Nectar by the Boys, but obviously a bit less, and it is very much a graduation song. It's almost 4 minutes long, and I said like it's a good tour song. Not like the direct end, because like you would want to do one of your favorite and one of your best selling tracks towards the end, but it's like a good like get in the crowd, like, yeah. If you could see me just then, I was like, whoa, pounding my fist. Yeah. And I even put Yes Sang. Damn. I think it was Yes Sang, I don't know. But I really did enjoy it, and it was a good song, and yeah, there's a few songs in the similar sort of vein, and I'm pleased though that they did it in their debut EP. And second we have is Treasure. So I actually did think it was San to start off with, but it was actually Hongjun. And I literally put Hongjun starts, sounds amazing. We love a high note. And I'm like, yeah, I agree with that. I kind of obviously before I started doing the podcast, I had already listened to these songs, so I already knew which ones I liked. And Treasure has always kind of been one of those songs that I've always enjoyed. And again, it's like one of those songs that is better when it's been performed instead of necessarily just like the studio version. And I think it is just a case of like wanting to hear differences in the vocals during the performance, because sometimes I feel like the vocals can sound a bit samey, which, it's nothing against the producers. It's just something that I've noticed and I wanted to talk about. Mingy's rap is quite calm in the song, and I do like it. And I put Jungho's voice is okay in this. I swear I am an ATEEZ. I swear I'm a fan. I just have criticisms that I don't deserve to have, considering that I'm not a artist myself, but I am giving them, and yeah, I've got nothing else to say on that. And there's a lot of squeak, but it could have just been my TV, because my TV's kind of old. But yeah, I did hear a squeaky noise, and I also put sonically of the time, which again is the same sort of thing as Stay. It's fine. It doesn't date the song. It doesn't take away from the song. It's just something that I noticed, and I wanted to. And last but no means least, we have Twilight. And San starts, and I loved it, and I was like, yes, San, go off king. And it actually sounds a lot like Footprint by Astro. And I found out during my original recording that song came out in 2021. So it's a very real possibility that it could have inspired Footprint by Astro. And I wanted to check to make sure that it was which one was released first, but it was Twilight by ATEEZ. And I literally put, San, you're killing me here. Because I really did enjoy it. And there's a clear musical format to it. I did have the lyrics up, so I was following along, and it has 3 choruses, bridges, clear verses. The song felt very secure in its format, didn't feel like it went on for too long, didn't feel like it was too short. It was all around a good B-side. However, I do wish that Yusang did have a little bit more in the song, and that there should be a few more sonical changes towards the end of the song. But again, that's something that I know that they have improved on over the last 6 years. So again, perfectly fine. Perfect for a debut album. As for my general feeling on the entire album, obviously there are ones that I have enjoyed all the songs on instead of only half of the songs, but that just comes from experience, listening to your fans, kind of developing more as artists, and all in all is a brilliant debut EP, especially for a group that came from a relatively small company like KQ Entertainment. And I recently found this out about KQ. They were actually originally the company that Block B was the only recording artist of, but somewhere down the line they decided that they wanted to become more of a real proper agency. So they changed to KQ Entertainment, obviously brought in a potentially like a training team, and obviously then was able to debut these. And then with time, Zykas has more soloists under it. But yeah, I have a little bit of history. So when Block B left Stardom Entertainment in 2013, I don't know whether or not Q-Walk is a member? Doesn't say. Founded the label 7 Seasons for the group, the name representing the 7 members, and then they changed the name to KQ in June 2016 to obviously what we now known it as, to branch out, develop, and support a bigger variety of artists and improve their management through structural changes. Now 7 Seasons is more of a subsidiary along with KQ Produce, and then obviously 2 and a bit years later they debuted. Yeah, that was very, very interesting. Apparently one of the members didn't debut, didn't renew his contract. Well, that is very, interesting. I should also say, as a quick update on Zykas, the member that was on hiatus, Junghoon, is finally back, which is good. But yeah, thank you as always for listening, and I will talk to you guys again very, very soon with hopefully another music review. Bye!